Who's ready for some recommendations? Hello my friends, welcome to my channel Discover with Kim. I'm Kim, I'm so excited you're here with me today. Welcome to this week's book chat. This week I'm going to be chatting all about the books that I highly recommend. Let's get into it. So, I am very much a mood reader and I like a variety of genres. So this video is going to be broken up into just different genres. I'll be talking about different books from each genre I really enjoy and different authors from each genre that I really enjoy. And that's how we're going to set it up. So let's go chat about a bunch of different books. The only way I can really think to organize this is to kind of just move around my bookshelves and go genre by genre. So we're going to be starting all the way on the edge of my bookshelf, and the first genre we'll be talking about is, oh, they're here. They're lower, but they're romance novels. So let's talk about romance novels that I very much recommend. Shall we? I have been an avid romance novel reader for a long time. Let's just say high school Kim, middle school Kim, young Kim. She very much also enjoyed the romance novels. So I have a lot of recommendations, but I'm going to try to keep it short and slim. I'm going to try to not go back in time way too far because I have like my favorite romance novels from when I was a little girl that, yeah, let's just say I'm 31 now and I read them in like middle school, high school. So we'll just say they're a little bit older now. Not terribly older. I'm not that old, guys. But they're definitely a little bit older now, so I'm going to try not to recommend any of those. But if you are curious about some of like my older books and books that kind of I really loved when I was younger, let me know because I would love to make a video like that, like books I loved when I was young. That's a really cute idea. But yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know. But let's talk about some romance books. I just recorded this and it wasn't recording. So that's fun. That's really fun. Alright, well, let's redo this and hopefully I remember to say everything I said because I feel like I said a lot of good stuff. I always say a lot of good stuff, right? I ramble, so maybe not. Anyways, we are going to start with some romance authors that I love. So these are authors that I've read several of their books and I really enjoyed all the ones I loved. So we're going to get right into that. If you're looking for a little bit more like contemporary, fluffy romance, I really enjoy Emily Henry. I'm also a big fan of Ali Hazelwood. I'd say Ali Hazelwood is a little bit spicier than Emily Henry, but I really like both of those authors. If you're looking for romance novels that are a little bit spicier and that are maybe like billionaire, millionaire kind of romances, I really enjoy Anna Huang and I really like Megan Quinn as well. I actually really enjoy Megan Quinn. I just read a book by her that I absolutely loved and it was so good. Those would be some authors I recommend. I'd also recommend if you're looking for dark fantasy by Navessa Allen. I really like the Into Darkness series with Lights Out and Caught Up. I think those are really good and I really enjoy reading those. Another author, if you're looking for a bit of a no spice, fluffier romance, these ones are categorized as young adult, but I don't think they're too overly young adult, and I would recommend for that would be Lynn Painter. I absolutely adore Lynn Painter. I actually just found her this year as an author and I snatched up a bunch of her different books because I really like her and I think she's so fun. So I would definitely recommend Lynn Painter for more of a young adult approach because I think, like I said, just so cute, so cute. And then a couple standalone books that I like. These are either books that I've only read one by this author, or maybe these ones were just really special to me. So I really enjoyed Mistakes We Never Made by Hannah Brown. This one is a bit like lighter written, and I mean I feel like all romance novels you can kind of predict the outcome, but I liked it though. I thought it was a really fun summery read. Also really enjoyed 9 Month Contract by Amy Dawes. This one I thought was really fun and it surprised me how much I liked it. And Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight I thought was really fun if you like very spicy novels. It's like a dark, spicy mafia romance. That I would recommend if you're looking for something like that. I also really enjoyed The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This, I would say Elle Kennedy has a bunch of different books and they're all pretty popular, but I've only read this one. So she may eventually move into authors I recommend, but since I've only read one, for now she's just in this category and with The Graham Effect. And I really enjoyed it, so I'd recommend Elle Kennedy. She does a lot of like college and sports romances, which I think are fun. Also, I just read this book by Carly Fortune, This Summer Will Be Different, and I thought it was so cute and so sweet. So I definitely highly recommend this one if you're looking for a fun summer romance. It was light, it was fluffy, and I really loved it. For now, I'll say those are all the romance books and authors I would recommend because that's what I have on my shelf right here. If anything else pops up to me, I will insert it randomly into this video because that's how my brain works. But that is where we're at for romance novels that I would recommend, or romance books / authors. Moving on to fantasy/romantasy books that I would highly recommend. I do kind of categorize these into the same category. I know they're kind of different. They're like subcategories, but I do categorize them together just because they're fantasy, romantasy. They kind of just flow together well, I think. So one of the series that I very highly recommend, which I'm sure you've seen it around, but I will put my own stamp on it is the Fourth Wing series. I absolutely love the series. Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm, they're all so good, and honestly it's everything you would want in a fantasy novel. It is a little bit heavier, but it's not too heavy, and I think I love the romance in it, I love the world building, I love the dragons. Who doesn't love dragons? And it's just absolutely amazing. And then after that, another series I would recommend, which again, pretty popular, and that would be the A Court of Thorn and Roses series. This one, again, I think is just a really fun fantasy novel. It's a great way to kind of explore the different types of fantasy and different types of, just like a different genre of fantasy versus Fourth Wing is A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I think that it is a great series to get through. It is a little bit heavier and it does take a while to read, so I would say that, but yeah. If you're looking for a series that is a little bit lighter, this one is more young adult, but it does not read too terribly young adult, and that would be the Prison Healer trilogy. I absolutely love this trilogy. I think it was so fun to read, and each novel is a little bit different, which I think is a great way to keep me and others entertained and interested in the series. And if you're looking for a series that is also a little bit younger, this one I read back in high school, and I'm hoping to read it again soon. That would be honestly, the entire Shadowhunters universe by Cassandra Clare. The City of Bones universe, especially that series. I absolutely love that series. And then the Clockwork Angel and the Infernal Devices. Honestly, just all of the Cassandra Clare books. Like I said, I haven't read them since high school, so I really need to do a reread. But I would definitely recommend all of those series if you're looking to get into fantasy or romantasy, because I think they're really fun, and I think they all offer something a little bit different, so they're a great way to dive into a bunch of different fantasy worlds. And I love series in fantasy novels because then you get a whole bunch and you get a lot of world building and you really get to know all the different characters, which I love. And that's why I love that there's so many multiple books, because you get to really dive into the world, which I think is so much fun. Now, a couple of standalone fantasy novels that I would recommend. One that I absolutely love is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Honestly, all the ones on the screen I recommend. I really like the ones on the left that are more like circus carnival themed, and then the ones towards the right are more like cozy fantasies, and I really enjoy them. A couple others that I highly recommend would be The Teller of Small Fortunes as well as Wayward. I really enjoyed those two, as well as, of course, The Spell Shop. A couple others that I recommend, so these are either standalones or the beginning of a series, and I haven't read the rest of the series yet. That would be Dragon Fruit. I thought this one was really fun, a little bit different view on like dragons. There's sea dragons in this. Phantasma, loved. Heartless Hunter I thought was really good. It's about witches and witch hunters. The Road of Bones I really liked. I need to read the second one. And then I liked the Immortal Longings and the Vilest Things duology. I thought that one was really good, but I can never really remember it that well until I start reading it, and then I remember how much I liked it. So take that what you will. But yeah, so those are some of the fantasy novels that I would recommend. I really enjoyed all of those. I really love fantasy, and I really love, oh, one more. A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. I read this one recently, and I thought it was so cute and so fun. And with fall coming up, I think this would be an excellent fall read. So those are all the fantasy novels I recommend, at least at this point. And let's move on to our thriller novels. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that many thriller novels that I really recommend. I love reading thriller novels, but there's not that many that I'm like, oh my gosh, these were amazing. Most of the ones I'm going to recommend I read a while ago, so in my mind I remember really enjoying them, but if I reread them I couldn't tell you if it was the same. But I really need some more good thriller recommendations, so if you have any, please leave them in the comments below, because I really need good thriller recommendations, like good thrillers. But yeah, so also I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbor cutting the grass, because there's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, so let's talk about some thrillers that I recommend. So one that I really liked is by Riley Sager, and that was The Final Girls. I absolutely loved this one, and I also really liked The It Girl by Ruth Ware. Actually, Ruth Ware in general, I have liked all of her novels, so if you're looking for a good thriller mystery author, I would recommend Ruth Ware, because everyone that I've read by her I've really enjoyed. I also really liked Reckless Girls. I thought that was a really fun and different novel. So yeah, those would be the thriller novels I recommend. Like I said, I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot more in the future. I'm hoping this fall I'm going to read a lot of thriller novels. So hopefully I'll be able to make another video that'll be like thriller novels I recommend. That'll hopefully come out like maybe like end of October. November maybe, but we'll see. Hopefully I find a bunch that I like this fall and that I can dig into a bunch. But those are the thriller novels I recommend, and I think we should move on to non-fiction books that I recommend. And first I'm going to say is some poetry that I recommend. So I love reading poetry in the morning, and an author that I really love is Courtney Peppernell. I love every single poetry book that she's written. I'm pretty sure I own almost every single one of them, and I think that they're really good. I think they're really fun. I think they provide thought and they can provide different meanings, and I really enjoy them. So I'd highly recommend Courtney Peppernell for poetry books. A couple other non-fiction books that I recommend if you're looking for more that are like, I don't want to say self-help, but I want to say like self-growth, personal growth. A few that I recommend that I enjoyed were Untamed. I really like that one. I think Atomic Habits is a great one if you want to learn about reading different habits. I also really enjoyed The Pivot Year, The Mountain Is You, as well as 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. I think they're all really great nonfiction books that I would highly recommend. Okay, my friends, those are some of the book recommendations that I have for you, at least in this video. I'm thinking in the future I'm going to break it down and I'll make different recommendations for each genre. So I'll do like romance novels I recommend, fantasy novels I recommend, XYZ, and then I'll dig a little bit more into each novel, why I recommended, what they're about, and all that different kind of stuff. If that interests you, please let me know, because that's something that I think I would really like doing, and that sounds really fun. So that'll probably be coming up over the next few months. I'll probably be making those videos. And yeah, I would love to hear books that you recommend down below, your favorite books, books you think that I would like. I would love to hear all about them in the comments. And I'd also love to hear if you like these books that I recommend, or if perhaps you didn't like them nicely. I would love to hear that, because I think that we all have such different tastes, and I think it's always so interesting to me to hear like books I like that others might not have liked as much. Yeah, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because I put out new book videos twice a week. Plus, I'm going to be bringing back my weekly vlog. I'm just taking my time with it. But please hit subscribe, and I would love to see you guys here more often. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Live well, read some books, and go discover, my friends. Bye. Sorry that was a bit of a hot mess. I just kind of like whirlwind recorded today, so hopefully it all makes sense.